Just like in life, sometimes you got to take care of yourself a little bit. At Aux Auto, we provide financial mechanical assistance to those who depend on their transportation for daily living. Sometimes that means picking up cars and hauling them places and hauling things other places. And I've been doing that here lately with Oxy with an A. That's the Chevy 2500 series. And just like a couple of months ago, I did a basic auto function on my kid's car, which is the brakes. This is kind of going to be an overview on engine oil. Now, this is not for mechanics, okay? I get that. You know what it is. This is for people who, like probably the majority of Americans, don't open their hood in the lifetime of owning their vehicle. So this is just kind of a basic synopsis principle of the oil change when you drive into the oil place and they're like, so this engine's from a 1970 Plymouth Satellite, but the technology hasn't really changed a whole lot since we had internal combustion engines. Most of them are half of this, which is a 4-cylinder and it's sideways, but inside this is a bunch of metal stuff. Something down here is going like this, and then something over here is going like this, and then there's things moving here, but it's all metal. And it all moves up against each other and it needs some form of lubrication. That's what the whole engine oil, that's what it does. It's kind of like when you step out on your porch in the winter and you hit that little sheet of ice and you fall down on your bum. That's like your foot being metal and the actual ground being metal, and the ice is the oil. It's the lubricant that makes everything go. When you get your oil change, they're gonna ask you what kind of oil that you want. This is what kind it is, but that doesn't matter because your vehicle is going to have a recommended specification for that, and they should be able to look it up, so you don't really need to know that. But they're going to change your oil, which is in here, and they're going to change your oil filter, which is this. A filter does what a filter does. The oil goes through it and it filters out some of the filaments and the metal shavings and pieces to keep them out of your oil, to keep it out of the engine. Every engine's going to have somewhere where the oil stays, which is in the oil pan. You drain it, which I'll show you on the truck, with a oil pan bolt, and the oil's all gonna drip out. And then you take the filter out. This one's in here, over here, but it's the same concept, same principle. So what happens is oil sits in here, there's a pump in the engine, and there's a little something inside here that's gonna pump it up through the engine and through all these little veins and arteries of the engine and distribute it into places where metal touches metal. That distribution system relies on oil pressure, and that's the kind of light that is probably in your car. It's an oil pressure light, not an oil volume light. So if you have an oil pressure light comes on, that means you need to pull over because your engine lost oil pressure. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean volume. Like your gas tank, when it's low, you have low gas. When your oil pressure is low, it means you have no oil pressure and nothing's flowing through your engine. That's bad. So then if you ever were to check your oil or open your hood, again, not for mechanics. This is for people that aren't mechanics. There's gonna be a dipstick in here. That's gonna show you how much oil is in the bottom of that reservoir that I just showed you. And everything that has oil is gonna have a dipstick in it, so you know how much oil is in your engine. This is Oxy with an A, 2500 Chevy, dipstick. The engine to the 70 Plymouth Satellite, dipstick. Early 65 Mustang, dipstick. 1969 Charger with an RV 440 engine from a 1973 RV, dipstick. 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, all original, dipstick. Old Neon, that's green, dipstick. Dipstick. Just like on the old one, this drain plug for the engine, drain the oil. Same concept. Unbolt it, oil comes out. I'll show you. Then all the new stuff goes back in the engine. The last thing is intervals. Like some vehicles, you change at 3,000, some 5,000, some 7,000 miles. Some even go up to 10,000, but it really depends on what you drive. But it is probably one of the more important things that you can do for your vehicle that'll make it last as long as possible. Because if metal rubs against metal and the oil doesn't work like it's supposed to because it's really old, it's going to damage your engine and you're going to be paying thousands of dollars to fix it. But Again, this isn't for mechanics. This is for the people that don't ever open their hoods. This is for people who own cars and for people that depend on cars but don't know a whole lot about them. That's this playlist series is general or basic automotive stuff. And that's pretty much what this is. Get your oil change, take care of your car or truck or bike. Bike chains need oil too.